So we're going to get started with our mail merge lesson. So the only thing we need to do in this spreadsheet right here, which has all the information we'll be using in Word later, is fix the formatting with our zip codes. All the zip codes that are showing up as only 4 numbers, they should have a 0 in front, but they're currently in a text type format, which isn't recognizing that the numbers need to have a 0 there. So we're just going to select all of column G by clicking right on that letter G. And in the Home tab number group, click on this arrow here to get to the dialog box. Under category, we want to go to special, and then that has our format for zip code. Press OK. Then all of our zip codes that start with 0 are now displaying correctly. And with my zip codes formatted, I need to make sure to save my document. I want to go to the top left to save right here. And then for the mail merge to work, I can't have the spreadsheet open that it's pulling data from. So I want to make sure once I save, I close out of my spreadsheet. Then once I closed out of my Excel sheet, I opened up Word and I want to start a new blank document. In this blank document, we'll be going through our first step of making the labels. But while in the blank document, going to go to the mailings group, mail merge group, this button start mail merge. Then we are going to use the step-by-step mail merge wizard, which breaks each step of the mail merge into its own menu, makes it a little less confusing to go through. So in document type, I'm going to select labels. And each time you're finished in a step, going to go down here where it currently says step 1 of 6 and click next. So in step 2, we want to choose label options. And then if this is your first time going into it, your screen will probably have you started off on Microsoft since it's the first in the list. If you've used mail merge for something before, it will default to whatever the last thing you used was. We want to go into Avery US letter. Then for the labels, the product number we want down here is 5160. So to get to the 5,000s a little quicker, just click on any of these here and then press the 5 key on my keyboard. That will bring me to the top of the 5,000s. Just going to scroll down a bit more till I get to 5160 address labels. Click on that and press OK. And then once I insert my formatting with the Avery labels, use the current document will be checked because we're inserting everything into our document, which is formatted by highlight. You can see with the 3 columns as if we were printing this out on specifically that 5160 Avery US labels template. And we're going to next select recipients. We're using an existing list and press browse. And you're going to go to the downloads where we downloaded the Smart Cookie Bakery employee list. You want to make sure it's the Excel file you're clicking. And when you get this pop-up, press OK. Press OK on the mail merge recipients. And then you should be seeing this where your first box is blank and all the next ones say next record. Going to next arrange labels. We're going to add in an address block. So this is going to show us in the preview. This is how it's populating the address block based on how it's interpreting our information. So we can see there's the recipient name and the city, state, and zip code, but there's no street address. So we have to go in and manually insert that. So down here in match fields, I'm going to click on that button. In address 1, the drop down next to that where it says not matched, we want to change it to street. and press OK. Then you might get a pop-up about matching fields to unique identifiers. All of these addresses are made up, so we don't have to worry about anyone's personal data going anywhere. We can just press yes, and we can see we have the recipient name, the street address, then the city, state, and zip code. Press OK. Then we can tell the address block was inserted into our first label, but not into any of the other ones. To fix that, is where it says replicate labels over here. We're going to press update all labels. So now all of our labels have the address block inserted. We're going to go to next, preview your labels, and we can see that all of our labels filled in. We have the recipient name, the street name, and the city, state, and zip code, and each label is a unique name. And over here, if I was looking for a specific person's name, when I click through the list over here, it moves through, putting the next person at the top of the list until I get to the end of my recipients. And I want to go to next, complete the merge, and edit individual labels. I want to merge all of my records. So now this has actually opened up a new Word document. The one we were working in before was this document one over here. You can see it still has the mail merge window open. But then it also created this new document labels one. So say I realize one of my addresses, someone lives in an apartment, so I would need to add that in. I could just add it in here, apartment 2, let's say. Then I could change my text size of just that label so I can fit the apartment line in there. And that does not affect any of my other labels. Once we get into this labels one document, everything is its own listing. Changing one thing does not change the others. And now we're done with our first step of the creating the mailing labels. We're just going to close the labels one document. You can press don't save. And we're also going to close this document one. And you can press don't save, unless you did want to save it to your computer. Okay, so to start our second step of creating the letterhead, I'm starting out in the File Explorer on my computer. Since I downloaded the Smart Cookie Bakery letterhead document that's living in my downloads folder, I want to open it up from there. That will open up Word in with a document and our letterhead. Just want to press enable editing so that Word allows me to go into the document. And in the Home tab font group, I'm going to go into the dialog box. I want to change the font over here to ink free. I'm going to type that in. Once I start typing, it's going to give me suggestions. I want this one ink free. I'm going to change it to size 12. Change the color to blue. That will give me a preview right here of what that text will look like in my document. I'm going to press save as default and leave it as this document only. So I don't want all of my documents in the future to have ink-free blue text. And then with my text set, I'm going to go into File, Save As, Browse, and then where it says Save As Type, I'm going to click on that. I want to save it as a Word template. I can see up here it's saving it in my Documents folder and then the Custom Office Templates folder. I'm going to save that. I want to open a new document in Word. I want to go to File, New, and then over here where there's the Featured and Personal. If I go over to Personal, I can see my letterhead, Smart Cookie Bakery. Now this is a new blank document using our template of the letterhead, so that's why it's called document 1. I want to click down here under my letterhead and type the text of my letter that I want to appear on all of my letters. I'm finished typing. I'm actually going to put my cursor at the beginning of this text, move it down a bit further. And then when I put my cursor here, this is where the mail merge is going to insert. So it will have dear and then fill in everyone's names afterwards. So in the same way as before, I want to go to Mailings tab, Start Mail Merge Group, Start Mail Merge Button, Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. And the letter, it defaults to letters as the document type. That's what we want. You can click Next. We're using the current document because we want our lines to insert right here on the document. So we can press Next. The recipients, again, we're browsing for an existing list, going to Downloads and using the Excel file. Press OK, OK, and press Next down here. We already wrote our letter before. If we wanted to add anything extra here, we could. And we want to tell it to insert a greeting line. So it's going to give us, by default, dear, the person's name, and then a comma. So it will show here in the preview. It'll insert each person's name. I press OK. Show me greeting line to show that it's going to fill that in. I'm going to press Next, preview your letters. When I click through, I can see it's inserting everyone's name in the same spot. The dear is the same. The only thing that's changing is everyone's name between letters. We want to go to complete the merge. And again, we are going to edit individual letters, merge all of our records. That's going to create a new document called Letters 1. I can see, because mine opened up in a multiple page view, here's all of my letters. If I type something in one person's, it does not populate in any of the other ones. So as before, we're done with this document. We can close Letters 1 and then close Document 1. And because I had opened up a new document right from the letterhead, that is still open on my computer. I can close that as well. Okay, so for my last step of creating the name tags, I'm going to again start with a new blank Word document. I'm going to go to Mailings Group, Start Mail Merge, Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. This time we are making labels as before. Then in the label options, it's going to default to the last one we used, which was the Avery 5160. This time we want Avery 5392. I'm just going to scroll down a bit till we get there. We want 5392 name badges insert refills. Press OK. Like before, if we highlight, we can see it has applied the formatting to the document. Then I want to select my recipients, browse for our Excel sheet, press OK. But this time, instead of just pressing OK here, I want to go under Refine Recipient List, press Sort, and sort by last name. Then that alphabetizes everyone by last name. And then At this point, say we got RSVPs for our event that we hadn't updated in our spreadsheet, and we knew, for example, Barry Allen wasn't coming, so we didn't need to print him a name tag. We could just uncheck his name, and then he won't have a name tag created for him. Then I'm just going to press OK. I should see my first line is blank, the rest all say next record. We're going to arrange our labels, go to more items, and then this is letting us manually insert the different fields from our spreadsheet. And everything is going to populate in the order in which you added in. So because we want first name, then last name, we're going to click on first name, press insert, click on last name, press insert, then close. I'm going to put a space between the first and last name, because if not, they will populate right next to each other without that space. And then update all labels, so all of them now have the first and last name with the space in between. And we're going to go to preview your labels. If I had left Barry Allen's name checked before, because he's the start of the alphabet, he would have been in this spot. But since I unchecked his name, he is not here. But all of our others are. Same as before, we can click through. It'll put the next item in the list in the top box. So before I complete the merge, say I wanted to add in the Smart Cookie logo to everyone's name tags, because we'll be inviting them to the Smart Cookie Gala. To go to the Insert tab, Illustrations group, Pictures, that will open up the Pictures folder on my computer. I can just double click on the picture of the cookie to insert it. Then if I want it to carry over to all of my labels, go into the Mailings tab, write an insert fields and update labels. And that will put the cookie in the same place on everyone's label. And if I want to see all the labels at once, go to Edit Individual Labels, merge all the records. Then we can see everyone's label populated with a cookie. Also populated the cookies in these labels over here, where we went through the list of names, but there's still space on here for labels. So the cookies got inserted. We can take those out simply by clicking on each picture to select it, and then pressing the backspace key on the keyboard. If you've gotten through all of the steps to make the mailing labels, the letters, and the name tags, you've successfully completed Mail Merge.